Day in the fantastic town of Braintree, Massachusetts. Mayor, thank you so much for hosting yet again a wonderful event to celebrate life, to celebrate hope, to celebrate individuals in this wonderful city who've been touched by organ donation, to celebrate April as Organ Donation Month. My name is Matt Boger. I represent the federally designated organ procurement organization, New England Donor Services. Our job is each and every day to help save and enhance lives through what I call the miracle of organ and tissue donation. I do want to recognize the state RMV, who does a wonderful job each and every day presenting that question. Very important. And Yolanda, I might have you say a few words in a second, if you don't mind. I also want to thank the senator, who is a tireless advocate for organ donation, just all things good, maybe, on Beacon Hill. Senator, thank you so much for being here. Come on and join us, please. I also want to thank the Massachusetts Department of Public Health. They've provided a fantastic campaign. You can register anytime at mass.gov/organ donor. mass.gov/organ donor. You can register as an organ and tissue donor. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Mayor, this is, ever since you've been a mayor, you've had this event. You've helped celebrate individuals in your town who's been touched by organ donation. Thank you so much for being here to celebrate today as April as Organ Donation Month and raising the flag. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. This is such an important event that we hold every year, and it's very personal to me because folks that are around here are friends of mine, and you know, we've had some tragedies that have led to other people's ability to stay alive. So, you know, I thank Susan Flint for everything that she's done through Lucas, and Mrs. Duffy and Christopher, who both of your children have created life for others, and we bless them for that. We also have recipients here as well. The Doyles are here. Dennis, wonderful, a wonderful person, good friend, and we have members of the Murphy family as well. You know, my district counselor, Councilor Flaherty, as well as the vice chair of the school committee, Kelly Cobblemere, my new chief of staff, Margaret LaForest, Kate Naughton, who makes sure I'm on time for everything, and Yolanda from the RMV. This is, you know, Braintree is a donate life town, and when we say that, we say it with meaning. And we also have Dan Ricciardi behind me here too, the best. I'm gonna tell you, we used to have a thing called Meatball Monday, okay, and it was Ricciardi sub where we went. But anyway, he's the best. I'll say we are truly a donate life community, and you know, we don't just use the words; it's our actions, and our actions speak volumes. And when you think of you know, Lucas's Park and how the Verizon folks wrapped the box with Donate Life signs and messages, it's what you see every time that you pull down Peach Street. It's the first thing you see, and it's so important to me for us to continue down that path and cover as much of this town with the Donate Life symbol, because without you and your donations and signing up, there really is no Donate Life, and life is so precious and important. And you know, every year I pull out my ID. I just got my license renewed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get my real ID because I couldn't find my Social Security number. I have a Social Security card somewhere, I promise you. But you know, I did get my renewal done, and of course I have the heart on there, and it's so important. And you know, the work that Yolanda and the RMV does to promote and make sure this happens is so important to each and every one of us. I think that the tradition will continue, and our job really today is to show our support for Donate Life and to ask everyone, when they go to the registry, check off that box. It's easy. It's easy to do, and you'll be saving lives. And I want to read this proclamation that we have provided for Donate Life, and we'll be handing to Matt. Whereas there are more than 104,000 Americans, with more than 6,000 in New England and over 3,000 in Massachusetts, who are currently waiting for a life-saving organ transplant, and whereas there are over 1 million life-enhancing tissue transplants each year that are made possible by the generous donation of corneas, bone, skin, and other tissues, and whereas we can all help to save someone's life and benefit up to 50 recipients by signing up to become an organ donor and enrolling in the Massachusetts Donor Registry when applying for or renewing our driver's licenses, and whereas Massachusetts is a leader in donate designation rates and is dedicated to making it fast and easy to sign up to save a life through the Registry of Motor Vehicles, and whereas this observance pays tribute to organ and tissue donors and their families whose decision to donate life enables others to receive life-saving organs and tissues for transplant. Now, therefore, I, the Honorable Mayor Charles C. Kokoris, of the town of Braintree, in the County of Norfolk, in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the town charter, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2023 as Donate Life Month in Braintree. I also wanted to mention Mrs. Morelli, who's here, whose son also received, I don't know how I missed you. You're right there. I was hugging you earlier. But another amazing, miraculous story. And, you know, my first experience, we have a number of relatives that have received organ transplants. And one of my closest friends, Jim D., his mom, Bev, she's passed now, but she was one of the original lung transplant patients, and far exceeded the expectancy. And, you know, it was just amazing to see that transition and that ability to sustain life and keep her in her family's lives. So it's so important. So I say once again to everyone, please, please, please look at the folks here, look at the sacrifices that have been made, look at the rewards that we've received, and please sign up. Thank you.
Here, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
And this is for you, sir. This is for you. We'll take a little quick shot there. All right.
That's it. Oh, and one more here. Good. Thank you. Outstanding. Thank you.
And next up, we have the Senator Keenan, who has a presentation as well. Thank you for coming, Senator Keenan.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here and to bring you the greetings of the legislative delegation on behalf of myself, Senator Walter Timilty, who's entertaining 150 students at the State House this morning, talking to them about government, which is so important, and also on behalf of Representative Mark Cusack. So I bring the greetings of each. And just a couple quick stories, if I can. Just recently, a colleague of mine, a government colleague and a friend, received a kidney. And to see the difference that that's making for him and his wife and his young family is truly remarkable. And I know I've said it in the past, it doesn't stop with him and his wife and the young children in terms of the impact of that donation, but that's going to go down through the generations, that all those generations, grandchildren, great-grandchildren will be impacted because that individual got the gift of life and is there for his family. And then just yesterday, a woman came into my office and we talked about early detection, early childhood testing for various diseases. And one of the diseases that she was there advocating that there be early testing for was Fabry disease. And I didn't know much about it, but what she explained is that one of the ways it manifests itself, or one of the consequences of the disease, if undetected, is that it does severe kidney damage. and results in the need, oftentimes, for a kidney donation. But she did say that there has been advances medically so that there is testing that can be done and that there are medications and treatments that are available. But the science hasn't quite caught up and certainly hasn't gotten ahead, and the medicine hasn't. So in the meantime, it just highlights how important the work of making sure that people sign that box at the registry and agree to be an organ and tissue donor is. As much as we rely on science, as much as we rely on medicine to prevent some of the things that may necessitate kidney disease, we know that there will still be, organ donation, organ transplants, and tissue transplants. We know that there will still be accidents and incidents that can't be prevented, and that make it so vitally important that organs and tissue be available. So I just wanted to share that to highlight again the importance of what's being done here today, and the importance of what's being done by the Department of Public Health, by the town, by the Registry of Motor Vehicles, by match groups, all the groups that come together to make sure that people get word and check that box. On behalf of the State Senate, I'd like to present a citation to some of the folks that are here. They basically read the same, so I'd just like to read the first one. Commonwealth of Massachusetts State Senate, official citation. Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to the Massachusetts Registry of Motor Vehicles, to the Department of Public Health, and to New England Donor Services in recognition of your work saving and enhancing lives through organ and tissue donation. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate, attested to, and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. It's signed by Senate President Karen Spilker, Clerk Michael Hurley, myself, Senator John Keenan, Senator Walter Timilty, and dated this 27th day of April 2023. Thank you to everybody for all that you do, and please let's keep up the great work. Thank you.
You can give this to the RMV right here.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll put yours here. Is that okay?
Yeah, and we'll give it to the DPH at point.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Do a picture then. Senator, thank you for your wonderful remarks. I feel like if you close your eyes, you may be hearing Jack Kennedy in your voice there. So you are an impressive person. Mayor, thank you for your wonderful comment. You are beloved in this community. It's funny because literally everyone I meet, whether they're 30 or 68, says they went to high school with you. So I don't know the math of that exactly, but I was like, oh, I went to, I'm like, sure, okay. And or you've been in high school for 30 years. But both of which are great. But thank you. Again, and Mayor, thank you for saying that Braintree is a donate life community. Again, we don't want anyone to die, but the idea that you can save someone else's life is so important, and I'm so pleased to have the RMV here to say a few words, but this heart on your license means you're a registered organ donor. I do want to say that you're more likely to need an organ than to become an organ donor. Organ donation is very, very rare. It does not happen often, but when it does, it can mean saving the lives of up to 8 individuals. People like Pat Morelli's son, people like Dennis. But the RMV plays a critical role in this, in that 98%, basically everyone who registers does so through the RMV in Massachusetts and or the DMV in all 50 states. We are very pleased and we take great pride that we're the only public health question seen on a state document that's seen by vast majority of people. I guarantee anyone that you see, 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 people have an ID, a license, or a real ID. We have the opportunity to ask those people. Right now, 50% of Massachusetts is registered as organ and tissue donors, which is good. It's not great. We do know that 90% of the American population supports organ donation, and if asked, would say yes. So when people come into the RMV to get their license, 9 out of 10 people are presupposed to say yes to organ donation. So we thank the RMV for verbally asking that question, encouraging people to do it, realizing it's a voluntary choice, but also realizing it's not a neutral choice. We have the strong support of the state and the federal government and have the ability to get their heart on your license. So Yolanda, thank you for being here and saying perhaps a few words. Sure. Great, awesome, thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. I'm just going to take the time, as soon as the senator and the mayor said, it's a simple question that we ask every customer that comes into our building. It's on our application. It's a simple check on the application once you're filling out whether a driver's license, a permit, or a mass ID. It's just a simple check on the box. So thank you for everyone. They're awesome for being here today. I worked definitely with Miss Maria and Mr. Rall in the past and coming out and getting the people up and running and engaged in all that stuff. So thanks again for all the support, the R&B, and we're always happy to help, man.
Awesome, great.
Thank you
so much. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And now we're really here to share support of individuals personally touched by organ donation. And I don't know if it's correct to say the First Lady of Braintree, but Sandy Duffy, if you want to get anything done in this town, besides talking to the mayor and the senator, you talk to Sandy Duffy. So Sandy, thank you for being here and saying a few words.
I'm here. Take your time.
It's like the old days of Pop Warner.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the town of Braintree, the Donate Life town of Massachusetts. My name is Sandy Duffy. My son Christopher passed away when he was 35 from a brain aneurysm. Chris was a high school graduate, 1983 at Braintree. He was also a baseball coach at Braintree American Little League. There's a baseball field named after Chris, Duffy Field of Dreams at Hollingsworth Park, which maybe you played on, your children and your grandchildren. But the most important thing about Chris, he was an organ donor. He enriched the lives of 45 people in 19 states and somebody in Barcelona, Spain. My husband and I always joke, Chris got to Barcelona, but we never will. And 2 women received his corneas. A woman in her 30s, which my late husband and I thought could see her children better, and also a woman in her 70s that could see her grandchildren better. So please, please, please check off that box that you will be an organ donor, whether you're at the registry or online, because maybe someday you'll enrich the lives of more people than my son did. Thank you. Thank you. I think I'll sit.
If she wants to say, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Tough to get old.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't want to fall at the town hall.
No fall.
No. Thank you.
Sandy, may we all be as vivacious and vigorous as you are at any age that we are. You outwork us all, but
I don't know. I tried.
you are a massive inspiration to many, and your son has touched so many, so thank you so much. The question of age is a funny one because I was talking to an individual like, oh, I'd be an organ donor, but I'm too old. And I was like, in fact, you're not. There is no age limit to registering as an organ and tissue donor. 50, 60, 70, 80. We've even had a kidney donor in their 90s. There's an opportunity to help save a life. People are not by accident on the transplant list. You are very, very sick. So even not a perfect organ means that you can save an individual's lives. We want everyone to consider registering as an organ and tissue donor. It is not a healthcare decision. It's saying that if I no longer need my organs, there could be an opportunity for me to help save an individual's life. I do want to recognize Dennis, who's with us today because of a wonderful donation, and then Maria's wife, who does a great job working with the RMV and sharing the support and thanking them for asking that question, realizing that they play a significant role in that. Another individual in this town who's not here today because he is working with a new heart in his body, doing extremely well. Pat was going to say a few words. We'd love to have you. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Pat Morelli, and I have 3 children, 8 grandchildren too, but 3 children, and John was my middle son. And when he was a year old, I was told that he would not make it till he was 10, that his heart's going to give out. And 16 years later, we had somebody that would donate a heart that matched his. He got a new heart. And today he's well, he'd be here, but he's in a meeting. And he raised his 3 sons, and he's doing fantastic. So Donate Life to me is a miracle. And I look at him and I know He's a miracle. Like I say, thank you so much. He would be here, but he's very busy. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are great words. Thanks so much, Pat. And thanks for all that you do to support the words. And again, he's not here because he's living a vivacious life. He is also driving one of the coolest Jeeps around. Yes. So he's living his life to his best here. So if one were to travel down this road, I think straight, and get to the intersection, on the left you will see a magnificent billboard that has been up for 4 years. And will be up for 4 and counting more years. And it is a great tribute to the son of a woman who inspires me each and every day, who I'm proud to call friend, who is a force of nature. So, Susan, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Everybody knows Lucas's story by now, and I still never get tired of talking about him and sharing his stories. And this being Donate Life Month, Donate Life, Matt and several others have asked me to speak here, there, and everywhere. So I've been around all month talking, and I love to share the positivity of Lucas's situation that was so negative. But people hear the bad, and then they hear the finale of it. And you can see their face change from like doom to like, wow, that's wild. And yesterday I was at a big thing with organ donation nurses, and I mentioned Dennis, and I mentioned John Morelli, and a bunch of other friends that I know. I've gotten to know people who have received a full set of lungs, another heart recipient, another friend who I met through all this month, Gary, he received a heart 20 months ago, and he just did the Heineken Regatta in the Bahamas. So he's fine. Obviously, and great personality. But the best one I met this month, his name was Will. And years ago he got sepsis and they had to amputate both arms and both legs. And at Brigham and Women's 2 weeks ago, they said, can you help Will with the flag? And I was like, okay. And I went over, he had 2 donated hands that worked. And I couldn't believe that. Like, I know about internal organs and skin and eyes, but the first thing I asked him was like, can you write? I don't know why that was important to me, but I wanted to know. And he could write. So we raised the flag together. I got his contact information, so I want to hear everything. Because that one, not to change anything, not life-saving, but life-altering, to go from having no hands to 2 new hands. I still can't wrap my head around it, and I find it fascinating. And like I said, I can talk forever, so I'm going to step away.
Susan, thank you so much for sharing. And actually, what you talk about is you're talking about community, connecting with people. And Mayor, you've created a wonderful atmosphere. This is a very strong community that supports each other in time of need. And when you're on the waiting list, there is a time of need. And the friendships that you've made through something that maybe you didn't want to be part of, would you rather have not have been part of?
But I knew them anyway. I just didn't know their story.
You didn't know your story. So listen to people's story. I do want to thank the City Council and the school committee being here, and I do want to thank the Community Access TV for sharing, because this is a great gathering. Hopefully this will share it with other individuals through the community. But Mayor, Senator, everyone here, and more importantly, individuals who've been touched by organization, thank you for yet a day. Now, it's starting to get gray now, but it was light throughout this event. So that is a little divine intervention. What a great day here. If you don't mind, we might do one more picture so we can get everyone included. But Mayor, Senator, everyone, thank you. What a great day. Thank you. And then we'll raise the flag. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'd love to get you in the picture. We can do one more with everybody. And if you could step up.